The dirtiest object in your home. It's probably not what you think. Most people assume it's the toilet seat, but that's not what many studies suggest. In fact, the toilet often isn't even close to being the dirtiest surface in the home. So, what is it? It's something you use every single day, right next to your sink, your kitchen sponge. Yeah, the thing you use to clean your dishes. And this is where things get surprising. Some studies have found that used kitchen sponges can contain millions of bacteria in a single square inch. A toilet seat usually has far less. In some cases, the difference can be massive. So, why does this happen? And more importantly, what actually helps reduce it? Because some cleaning habits may not work as well as people think. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why sponges become such a good home for bacteria, how they can spread germs around the kitchen, and what food safety research actually recommends. To understand why a sponge gets so dirty, think of it like a city for bacteria. And just like any city, bacteria need three things to survive: shelter, water, and food. A kitchen sponge gives them all three in perfect conditions. Every time you wash dishes, the sponge collects food, grease, and dirt. And it doesn't just stay on the surface, it goes deep inside where soap and water can't reach. But here's the part most people miss: you're not just cleaning with the sponge, you're feeding it. Every time you use it, you give bacteria more food and more water, and that lets them grow fast, really fast. One becomes millions in just a few hours. So over time, your sponge becomes a hidden bacteria city. And it doesn't stay in one place, it spreads. Every time you wipe a counter, you can move bacteria to a clean surface. From sponge, to counter, to your hands, and even to food. But it wasn't always like this. Before sponges, people used dishcloths. And cloths could be washed in hot water, so they stayed clean. Then sponges became popular because they were cheap, soft, and easy to use. And they replaced cloths in most kitchens. But here's the issue: people stopped replacing them often. They started using the same sponge for weeks, sometimes months. And that changes everything. Because every day you use it, it gets worse, not better. Scientists have found bacteria like E. coli, Salmonella, and staph bacteria inside used kitchen sponges. And here's the important part: rinsing doesn't remove them, because they live deep inside the sponge, protected, hidden, still active, and even worse, some bacteria survive cleaning attempts, and over time, the strongest ones can take over. Meaning the sponge doesn't just stay dirty, it can actually become harder to clean. So how do you fix this? You can reduce the bacteria, but you cannot eliminate them completely. Cleaning helps, but it is not a perfect solution. Scientists found two methods that work well to lower the germ count. First, the microwave. Put your sponge in for 1 minute at full power, but be careful, the sponge must be soaking wet. The water turns into steam, which helps reduce germs hidden deep inside the holes. If the sponge is dry, it can catch on fire. Second, the dishwasher. Put the sponge on the top rack for a full cycle. Use the heated dry setting. The high heat helps reduce molds, yeast, and bacteria. There are two important safety rules to remember. Number one, never microwave a sponge with metal on it. Number two, if your sponge has a metal scrub pad, use the dishwasher instead. But here is the most important part: don't wait for your sponge to look dirty or smell bad. Even after cleaning, some germs can stay alive. The safest habit is replacing your sponge regularly. Many food safety experts recommend replacing it about once a week. A cleaner kitchen often starts with a fresh sponge. So here's the truth: the toilet seat isn't usually the dirtiest thing in your home. The sponge often is. And the difference is simple. We use strong cleaners on the toilet, but we often forget how many germs can build up inside our sponges. If you change a few simple habits, your kitchen can become much safer. Microwave a wet sponge or use the dishwasher to reduce germs. But most importantly, replace it regularly. Because your sponge cleans your kitchen, but only if you keep your sponge clean too.